we're visiting Chesterfield, Virginia, and we're at Broad Fork Farm, and I'm joined by one of the farm owners, Janet Ardema. Janet, thank you so much for having us out today.
Thanks for visiting. It's wonderful to have you.
So tell us, what is Broad Fork Farm all about?
Sure. So together with my husband, Dan Gagnon, we own and operate Broad Fork Farm. We are a small-scale, diversified, certified naturally grown farm. We grow about 50 different varieties of vegetables and herbs and a few flowers, and we market those vegetables and herbs and flowers directly to the customer, directly to the person who's going to enjoy the food and enjoy the flowers in their kitchen.
Well, what are some of the products that you all grow here?
Sure. So again, we grow primarily vegetables and herbs. We grow a wide variety of different greens, salad greens and cooking greens. So head lettuces, salad mixes, mesclun mixes, cooking greens like kale and collards and chard, and a whole wide array of different cooking greens. And the general fruits that people are familiar with from the vegetable world, tomatoes, bell peppers, eggplant, summer squash, that whole range of summer crops. And then roots, carrots, turnips, beets, radishes, things like that. That's the short list.
I was going to say, but that's a lot, even on your short list. That's
Exactly,
a lot.
Exactly.
So what size farm do you have?
So we are really a micro farm. We grow on less than 2 acres.
Okay.
But we grow very intensively. If you look around our fields, you see a wide variety of things planted close to one another and a great density in which we plant. So we can harvest off of that 2 acres enough vegetables to feed 150 families each year.
Okay.
Not your typical American farm.
Absolutely not. That's wonderful.
Okay.
Well, now, you say we, so it's you and your husband basically who run this farm.
Yes.
Do you have any other help?
We do. So my husband, Dan Gagnon, and I operate the farm. We are owners and operators of this wonderful business. And we hire 2 full-time, we call them interns each season. They're paid employees, but they receive a high amount of education throughout the season. We look for people that don't necessarily have experience growing vegetables, but rather have a real enthusiasm for learning, as well as a willingness to work hard. And then we take folks essentially from ground zero and teach throughout the season. Everything from the best soil science information that we can pass on to them, overarching philosophies, themes, and approaches to this world of small-scale, diversified, organic agriculture, as well as the technical day in and day out process of growing, harvesting, and marketing the vegetables.
Now, you all sell at farmers markets, but you also have a thriving CSA. Tell us, number one, what is a CSA?
What is a CSA? CSA stands for Community Supported Agriculture. And that is a method of farm business management in which community members financially invest in the farm in the beginning of the season. And then in return, they receive a share of the farm's harvest over the course of the season. This is a method of farming or method of farm business that originated in Asia and then eventually found its way to the United States in the 60s or so.
So how does the CSA work with Broad Fork Farm?
Sure. So many farms do a CSA or manage a CSA in different ways. So this can be unique to each farm. We offer 2 different types of, or 2 different options that people can choose to participate as members of our CSA. One we call the Farm Share, and in that program, we, the farmers, choose a wide variety, a nice mixed blend of vegetables to form a bag or box, a weekly share that then members receive each week, May through November.
Okay.
So they get a nice variety of vegetables, but it's also a bit of a surprise that week. There's things that are pretty standard, but regardless, they don't know exactly what's going to be in the box until that week, because we choose the contents.
Okay.
The other arm of our CSA is called our market share, and that is more of an a la carte option. So CSA members choose item by item what they want from us throughout our entire growing season.
Okay.
And we tend to sell about 11 months out of the year.
Okay.
So the market share runs all 11 months. and people choose from whatever we have available then.
Now, with the market share, do people choose what they want at the beginning of the season and say,
No.
this is what I want? So
No, not at all. Week by week.
week by week. Okay.
So they literally can come to our farmers market booth and choose what they want that particular week, and it's just debited off of their
account.
Their accounts.
Okay.
Like they're collecting shares of what they have bought into,
Right.
One by one.
So everything is prepaid, but then how they gather it and distribute and all that is kind of up to
Very much up to
the
them.
person. But the beauty of the CSA really helps the farmer
Absolutely.
because it gives you the funds to start your growing season.
We see it as definitely mutually beneficial. We do receive the funds in the beginning of the season when we're not selling things yet or not selling very much yet. And that allows us to really be accountable to the community that's going to be eating this food rather than being accountable to a lending institution, which would be the alternative.
Hey, do you like this video? Click the like button and let us know. And subscribe to WVPT Public Media.
And so we choose to allow our community to help fund the startup of the season. And then because of our close relationship with the community, being members of our farm, it's a wonderful way to be accountable and to participate in the experience of growing food and feeding a community more closely than if we didn't have CSA members literally investing in the farm in January, February, March.
How long have you guys been doing this, and how long have you had the CSA going?
Sure, those are two different answers. So
Okay.
we started our business just over 4 years ago in February of 2011. We'd purchased the land about a year and a half prior in order to clear land and prepare the soil a bit. But we started selling vegetables in the spring of 2011. We didn't start our CSA until the spring of 2013 because we wanted to make sure we had spent a couple of years in this community growing food and selling it just for cash, no investment up front by community members, so that our community could get to know us before entrusting us to grow food in this way for them. So this is the third year for our CSA happening, beginning right now.
And have you seen an increase in subscribers as you've gone?
Absolutely, and thankfully. So we've limited our the CSA involvement of our farm business as we have become more mature farmers and as we have been able to grow more and more. But so we are getting more and more CSA interest each year, as we are also having more CSA member slots available. And I think that is because this is still a new idea for the greater Metro Richmond area. Like I said, the CSA model came to the United States in about the 60s. Really hadn't hit the Richmond area until after the year 2000. And here in Chesterfield, it's not a common way to engage in food acquisition, in vegetable acquisition.
Right.
So we find that we're providing new information for people by introducing them to the idea of a CSA operated farm, and at the same time as they learn, they're becoming interested in participating.
Right. Well, we are here right on the outskirts of, our state's capital. Yeah. Do you find that the urban folks are really starting to take an interest, and do you have a lot of subscribers that come out from Richmond to say, I'm gonna do this, I want some locally grown?
We do have a lot of our CSA members and customers from Richmond. We do meet them in the city, however.
Right.
We are very close to Richmond, but it's about a 35-minute drive, depending upon which edge of Richmond you're headed to. So we do participate in a farmer's market in Richmond on Saturdays, as well as we have a CSA pickup spot in Richmond on Wednesdays.
So you really have the opportunity to do some education doing this, don't you?
Tremendously. And we intentionally purchased this parcel of land very close to suburbia and the city in order to allow more education of consumers, of local school children, of just curious public so that they can pretty easily access our farm, stop by anytime and look around, attend one of the tours. We put a lot of information on our website as well. These are pretty unique characteristics for a farm, and even a farm like ours, to allow people to learn as much as possible about what we grow, why we grow food for a living, and how we grow food that is certified naturally grown, and aiming for the most nutritious vegetables that we can. And none of those things are necessarily a given. And so
Right.
those are passions of ours that we put into this endeavor.
Now, I noticed you have some construction going around here.
Yes, we
Can you tell
do.
us about it?
Absolutely. So we have just about a year ago started construction on a barn for our farm. We chose to purchase this parcel for the reasons that I've mentioned. The downside of siting our farm here in this place is that there was no farm infrastructure. We did not purchase an established farm. So we have not only put up greenhouses and high tunnels, but we also needed to build essentially a wash and pack shed, though it's a nice large barn, to be able to prepare all the vegetables after we harvest them, put them in cold storage for our customers. And then also, since we have people pick up their vegetables here at the farm, the barn includes a really nice, spacious, and weatherproof or rain-safe pickup area and farm stand. We have some folks stop by just to purchase cash sales at our farm stand as well.
Okay.
And finally, we really needed a place to be able to dry our onions and garlic during the time of the year that they have to be taking up a lot of space drying and curing. So we have finally gotten our barn 90% complete, and we're very excited to be able to use it as it's fully functioning
Oh,
this
that's wonderful.
Season.
Now,
Thank you.
I know you have, a pretty small area of land, but as the need grows, are you going to be able to supply more and more people? Do you feel like you can? with this
We
area?
have a bit more expansion to do as a farm. We haven't cleared our entire parcel yet, and so we will grow a bit more. But we don't wish to max, we don't wish to reach farther than about 200 families worth of vegetables.
Okay.
That's what we think is the max that we can grow on this parcel of land that we're on.
If other farmers are interested in possibly starting a CSA, how do they go about doing that?
Sure. So there is a really rich conference series about small-scale organic farming, which often uses the CSA model, both in Virginia and in the East Coast in general. And so I would highly encourage folks that are interested in pursuing this business to get on the conference circuit and attend as many events that they can to learn. Virginia has a wonderful organization that we're members of, the Virginia Association for Biological Farming, and the VABF, as it is known, puts on an annual conference with international and nationally known speakers presenting really quality information along the whole spectrum of things that one needs to know to be able to operate a business like this. So that's where I first point people.
And that's what it's all about, connecting the farmer with the people who eat their food and let people know where it's coming from. Now, if people want more information on Broad Fork or even on your CSA, what should they do?
Absolutely. We direct people to our website, broadforkfarm.net, and we have an array of pages that provide information about our CSA, more detailed information about how we grow and what we grow, as well as information about when our farm tours are
Okay.
for the season, and a whole plethora of other information that we found our customers are really looking for when they want to know about a farm.
Great. Well, Janet, thanks for having us out today.
My pleasure.
What a lovely place, and
Thank you.
you guys are doing some great work here.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your visit.